Hi, welcome. In this video, I'd like to take a few minutes to discuss the issue of using food to build a script, and why it is I don't use food at any level, because it is all about changing how people think, and therefore once you use food into the equation to say build on this script, whether it's shaping, whether it's to influence how a dog thinks and build a picture of change. Oftentimes, it's not helpful because it truly is about changing how people think. And so dogs know the real deal. So if you're using food, what you're doing is you may be building a picture, but you're working outside the parameters of promoting change, the person to change, for influence, relational influence, to define change. Okay, to force people to change how they think. And so that's why communication is key here, through the leash. Influence is needed. And if you're using, changing out that level of influence by using something else, beyond this line of communication, with using the leash and connecting that way, you're really setting things up for a scripting problem. And this issue of, people say, well, Dale, do you use treats at all? I will only use them, and you'll see this on a video that I'm doing with putting a muzzle on a very aggressive dog. I'll only use it in terms of management, not for change, which means that I'll use it so I can get that muzzle on the dog, but immediately those treats go away, only because that's not how I think. And here's the other issue. I mean, I could use treats and change is going to happen anyway. Okay, but this is the thing, is it's not helpful to promote that. If you know that it's just not a good thing to mess around with, why would you do it? That's my real question here. So if people are doing that, if they're using food at all, at any level, they clearly don't understand the problems. They really don't. They're making assumptions, and they're working off this mainstream idea of a picture, and not looking at motives, and not looking at this issue of devaluation. So you have to step back. You have to make sure change is being promoted properly in and through the person. It happens through what I define as relational influence. It's communication. It's how the leash is used. And it's based on how the script sets up through interaction. And the interaction, if you see how I define that script, I don't get all focused on a picture, okay, on the dog sitting on a place command or whatever. I keep that script very defined for a period of time to make sure, to guarantee that change is going to happen. But again, it's really understanding the sequencing. A lot of trainers don't look at the sequencing as it relates to relational change that way. They just start to follow this mainstream thinking. So what I'm doing here is really attempting to get people's attention to say there's a better way to avoid this issue. And so I would really encourage you, if you're really thinking about or wondering why it is that some people fail and others are successful, you have to understand how this packages up for people. It's really, really important that you keep food right out of the equation. Do not introduce it. If I do use it at all, it's strictly for management, so I don't get bitten. Okay, if I'm doing a board and train and I can't switch that dog over to somebody else, and so it's all psychology. That's how you actually avoid getting bitten. It's understanding how these dynamics play out and contrast off each other. But I'll use it in very, very limited ways, but not to build a picture, just to get me from point A to point B. That's it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.